So now I'm going to actually demo the actual game, the single-player campaign for StarCraft 2. The one thing that I want to kind of bring up, though, it is very much under construction. It's probably realistically not quite ready to be shown to people, but we kind of had to make a decision. We could wait a couple more months and show it when it's a little more polished, or we could show it to all of you, our fans. So just keep that in mind. We're going to go ahead and switch over to gameplay now. So you can see that we've come a long way since the StarCraft 1 briefing room. We now actually are on the bridge of the battlecruiser Hyperion. This character right here is Jim Raynor, who is returning as our... So Jim Raynor is going to be the central hero and character for the Terran campaign. And Jim's kind of fallen on a bit of hard times since the events of Brood War. He's drinking a little more heavily. He's very bitter about how Arcturus Minx used him in the previous campaigns. And he's kind of leading a mercenary/freedom fighter group against the Dominion itself. But they don't have a lot of money. So really one of the things you're going to be doing in the Terran campaign is trying to acquire money to be able to outfit your battle fleet and continue in future missions. So you can see like this space here is kind of a room that has a bunch of different things you can click on. We have different characters. This character over here, his name is Tychus Finley.
Feels like old times already.
Tychus is the Marine that you would have seen in the StarCraft 2 trailer that we showed earlier in the opening ceremonies. So you can see that we actually have added dialogue trees to the game. So now as a player, you can kind of decide what you want to ask the characters and interact with them a little more directly than you could in the briefing room.
Something on your mind, Tychus? Just wondering what your next move is. Seems you like tangling with the Dominion a little more than you should.
Minx is a vicious tyrant, and he needs taken down.
And you're just the man to do it, huh? You sure have changed, Jimmy. Never thought I'd see the day.
So all these characters are actually in the game engine itself, and we're getting a lot of help from our Blizzard film department, who do all of our pre-rendered cinematics. So you can see that the models and the characters are much more detailed than, let's say, the characters you might see in the top-down part of the game.
Just try not to break anything, Tychus.
This character over here is Jim Raynor's kind of second-in-command, Matt Horner.
Yes, sir.
So Horner is the character you're going to go to and really learn a lot more about your missions. So a lot of what you can talk to him here is about the mission that you'd just done previously, because we're really kind of jumping in this demonstration right in the middle of the Terran campaign itself. So if I click on this option, we can talk a little more about the last mission itself and an artifact that we acquired.
So when do we get paid for retrieving that artifact?
The Mobius Foundation just sent us new rendezvous coordinates. It's like they're trying extra hard these days to cover their tracks from the Dominion.
Well, we're the most wanted criminals in the sector, right? If I was them, I wouldn't want to advertise our little partnership either.
Good point. I'll contact them and take care of the exchange myself. We need some better firepower. You should head down to the armory and spend some of that cash we just made.
Take it easy, man.
So along with the characters that you see on the bridge, there's kind of other different types of things you can click on. Some things that are not working yet that will be in the future, like these screens around here are actually going to be sub-menus that you can go to kind of learn more about the universe itself, learn more about how your progress in the campaign, and also kind of be other like fun areas, like this window you can click on. So you can kind of get more of a cinematic view of where the Hyperion is right now, what planet it's orbiting. And the bridge isn't the only location that you can go to on the Hyperion, so we're going to go to another location.
Grade 6. Get it done.
Down here slumming, sir.
What was that?
Boys are getting riled up, Jim. We got a problem.
So this is Raynor's chief engineer, Swan. So he's a character that whenever you come down to the armory, you can kind of talk to about technology, about units, and also that was an example of an in-game cutscene that has a subplot that's happening on the Hyperion that you can interact with. So we're going to ask Swan a little more about why that engineer bumped into us.
So what's the problem?
Crew ain't been paid in 3 months, Jim. They're overworked and understaffed. Some are set to mutiny if things don't get better soon.
Look, Swan, I get it. But that artifact we just picked up from Marsalis is gonna solve everything.
I've heard that before, brother.
It's different this time.
Yeah, I heard that one too.
So one of the goals with this part of the single-player campaign is really giving you a lot more story. And there's going to be main storylines, there's going to be subplots, and it's really up to you as a player to decide how much you want to interact with. You can choose to interact mainly with the main storyline, or you can choose to start interacting much more with a lot of these different subplots. So this room, like the bridge, has multiple things that you can kind of interact with. Like this back here is the simulator, where you'll actually be able to kind of test out different units and play with them. We have kind of fun stuff like we did on the bridge, like this crane up here that you can kind of play around with to interact with the space. But the central part of this space to interact with is the technology console.
Armory console initiated. Displaying all purchasable units and upgrades.
So as you complete missions, you'll earn money that you can then spend on your technology, which is a pretty big departure from anything that we've done previously in our games. So now, rather than just doling out upgrades and spells and abilities and units themselves, we're going to give you the power to choose when and how you want to buy units. So you can see like everything from upgrades, like the Marine Combat Shield, or things like the Battle Cruiser, which I can't yet afford, are all available for purchase. But since I'm demonstrating, I can go ahead and buy the Viking. So we're done with this area. We're going to go back up to the bridge. And now, probably the most important feature of the bridge itself is the star map.